Stakeholders have emphasized the urgent need for constitutional amendments in Nigeria to include the rights of women and persons with disabilities. The call was led by Adaora Sydney Jack, the Executive Director of Gender Strategy Advancement International, who urged journalists to raise awareness on women's inclusion and gender accountability in government through their reporting. Benedict Uko has more on this story.
On January 23, 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari passed the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act, which provides for more inclusion for persons with disability. As Nigeria approaches the conclusion of its 5-year transition plan in January 2024, gender advocacy groups are pushing for more recognition and implementation of the Act. At the inclusive training for editors and reporters, the executive director of the gender advocacy group, Gender Strategy Advancement International, Adaora Sydney Jack, emphasized the importance of understanding and highlighting the rights of persons with disabilities, particularly focusing on the often overlooked narrative of women with disabilities. She called for bridging the gap in storytelling styles and gender identities, noting that issues are frequently portrayed negatively.
How many of the 5% quota and engagement of persons with disability are really adopted in ministries and parastatals, even in media houses as we speak? How many times have we really looked at the need for sign language, not as an alternative, but as a necessity in our mainstream media? We are looking at South Africa redoing and reviewing their constitution and adopting new constitution amendments to include persons with disability and their right to basic education as a right and not as an alternative. But we are yet to even implement, and we are yet to transition. And that means that by 2024 January, Nigeria will not even be ready to have said that they have implemented the act. So it's really an issue. So the training for us is going forward. We will go ahead to work with reporters and editors to help them, to encourage them, to empower them, to let them see the need for inclusivity in their storytelling, to pass the message to their newsroom, and to have people and owners of industries within the media to remember that without inclusive reporting and an editorial, intervention, we will not necessarily be able to tell our narrative holistically.
One of the facilitators, Susan Kelechi Woma, stressed the need for more implementation of the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act and encouraged ministries and parastatals to adopt the act.
The sessions are skewed to open your eyes and on storytelling and mind to see the lapses in genuinely designed policies and programs of government, national or subnational, that would need to be tweaked for good. You will not be asked to become antagonistic to the government, but you would be carefully pointing out some issues that create a ceiling to better performance of the women in your respective area of human endeavor. It is all about calling attention to these issues to be dismantled or improved on. This is our simple task, and we hope to do this in our storytelling after today's session.
There's improvement from where we have been in the past till now. We look forward that even as we get close to the end of the 5 years transition period, where all facilities, infrastructures, and institutions are supposed to be accessible by January 2024, we expect that most agencies will start full implementation of the Disability Act. Whether it's in employment or in physical infrastructures, we need to see reasonable accommodations, whether in private or public sector. As a community of persons with disability, we continue, which is what this program has also done now. This is one of the interventions to also keep raising awareness and bringing it to the consciousness of both the media and the Nigerian population that we are getting close to the end of the transition period, and it's pertinent that all the necessary infrastructures should be in place and the Disability Act should be implemented fully.
The National Coordinator Advocacy for Women with Disabilities Initiative, Yakubu Bilikisu, emphasized the importance of the 35% affirmative action and advocated for recognition and inclusion in social programs.
We are appealing to the government that the 35 affirmative action should be given concern and be looking into it, giving women opportunity to be part of decision making in government and other aspects of life. Also, for women with disability, we are still coming up. We are still struggling to be recognized. We are still fighting stigmatization. We're fighting discrimination. So we know it's a long journey, but I have this positive mindset, and I'm optimistic that with time we're going to get there.
The training's primary goal is to inspire newsrooms and industry leaders to recognize that inclusive reporting is essential for a holistic understanding of narratives, particularly those related to women and persons with disabilities.